Welcome to our community. Susie Thomas with you this morning. So happy to welcome Lisa Bast, who is a local entrepreneur and with a really unique idea. Good morning.
Good morning.
So Lisa, I'm going to guess first of all, before we get into your product and your business, you're a pet lover.
Definitely. Dog lover to the T.
Yeah, tell me about your dog or dogs.
Yeah, I have a golden doodle. He's 9 years old.
They're
the
so
first.
cute.
Oh, he is. He's the first dog I've ever owned, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. I always wanted a dog. So I got to the point in my life 9 years ago where I could get one.
So you grew up in a home where it was a no dog policy?
We had dogs, but not for very long.
Okay. I relate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mom could stand them just this long and then they were gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So as an adult, 9 years ago, you're
Yeah.
saying, by gum, why not?
Yeah. 9 years ago, I knew the timing was right.
Tell me about your dog. What's its name?
His name is Micah.
And what was it about Micah that you just fell in love with? You knew he was the one.
You know, I actually had done some research and felt a golden doodle was right for a first-time dog owner. Found a place in Ashland, and it was Jack and Nick Farms, actually. And when I reached out to them, it was around Christmas time, and they only had 3 golden doodles left out of 2 litters, and they were all male. And she sent me pictures, and I immediately fell in love with him. And I said, save him. I'm going to be up there on New Year's Eve when I'm off of work, and I'll pick him up. And that's when I got him.
And was the feeling mutual when the two of you met?
Yes, absolutely. I knew right away we were meant to be together.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
So what makes golden doodles a great first-time pet for new pet owners?
You really can't screw them up. I mean, their personalities are so even-tempered.
Great.
They're very smart. But, the breeder did caution me. She said, hey, you got to be smarter than your golden doodle. And I don't think I am. He outsmarts me every time.
He's got your number.
He does. But they're pretty easy to train. They pick up very quickly. And so with their even temperament, it's kind of hard to really, quote, screw them up so much, so to speak.
And Micah loves going on walks.
Micah loves being on the go.
All the time.
All the time.
Everywhere.
Loves being outdoors.
Rides? Car rides?
Loves car rides.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did this become a problem in any way as Micah had to go on the go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on the go. And
Yes.
and an experienced dog owner that didn't have
Yeah.
doggy bags with her.
Okay.
So Micah would go on the neighbor's yard, and then Mommy had to take him home, drive in her car back, and pick up the poo.
Yeah. Yeah. We've
Yeah.
all been there. That's
Yeah.
not fun. And that
No.
it also kind of just slows you down. You're out for a walk for a little exercise, but
Yeah.
when the dog wants to mosey on over here and there, it can make it a little not so much exercise as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of people would just grumble or maybe say, okay, next week I'll remember my little something to pick up as I'm walking Micah. But you took it way beyond that. You really got an idea. Tell me all about it.
Well, you know what? I think for me is a culmination of a couple things of walking my dog at all types of weather, never having enough bags, or my nose would run and I'd run out of Kleenex, and I was reaching down in my pockets trying to grab them. So I thought to myself, it'd be great to have a carry-all that I could put everything in there, and including the doggy bag, so I didn't have to carry it and smell it.
So is this some kind of a satchel or a purse, or what size of a carry-all are we talking about?
It's about 8.5 by 9.5 inches. It's not super big. It's not super small. It has separate 3 big separate pockets to put your personal items, dog treats, bags, Kleenex, medication. But the inside of it has an antimicrobial lining. And that is the same material that's used on hospital gurneys and beds to inhibit the growth of microbes. So when you put the bag dog poop in there, you don't smell it while it's in there, nor when you take it out. So I, wanted something that you're not going to, because I think that was the part about it I didn't like was not only carrying the bag and having both hands full, but smelling it.
Right.
And
For the remainder of the walk.
the remainder of the walk. And you know what? So a couple of my first prototypes didn't have that in there. And when I would take it out, that would just come up in my face.
Yeah. Oh.
And so now, it took me a long time to find the material, but once I've used it, it's great.
This sounds like something that we can't just go to the drugstore and buy. How did you talk the manufacturer? How did you find a manufacturer of this? How did you find out that this existed?
I did a lot of research. A lot of research. It took me, actually my first manufacturer was a Amish woman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And since then I've been through 4. And I finally found one that I think I'm going to stick with.
What is this material? Is it like a fabric? Is it like describe the material?
The material is a 600 denier polyester ripstop material, which means it's durable but yet flexible. And I wanted something that was going to last, something that you have for years. It's going to weather all types of weather, so to speak. So most of us are out there in the cold, the rain, all year round with our pets, and so I wanted something that was durable and weatherproof and water resistant, which this is.
So if I'm understanding right, you take this satchel and you fill it with maybe your own personal items, keys and whatever you might else need.
Yeah.
And then things for the dog, treats,
Yes.
or if he needs them along the way. Yeah. And some plastic baggies to take care of his business as they're going along.
Yeah.
But then when you're back, you can throw away the plastic baggie with the dog business in it.
Yes.
And the material inside does not smell of that?
No.
Without putting it in the washing machine?
No. And that's just it. You don't have to put it in the washing machine. It's the type of material that you can just use a warm, sudsy cloth and wipe clean and let air dry. Yeah, so it's very easily washed. And that's the good part about it. Something that's going to be carefree. Most of my customers say they have it by the door and they throw their cell phone in and they grab it and they go. They just kind of have it loaded up.
Right.
So
it's ready to go.
Ready
it's
to go.
packed.
Yeah.
Like a hospital bag. You have it all ready to go, and then you just grab and throw your phone in, keys, and off you go.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Are you a sewer by trade? Have you made things before?
I have sewed before, but I don't make this myself. Yeah.
But in your mind, you kind of put together the pattern of what this would be.
I did.
And tell me about the prototypes, how you got from there to here.
Well, I actually went to Macy's and got about 15, 20 different handbags. And
what a great excuse to go purse shopping.
Yeah. And but I kind of incorporated different designs in there and I went through about 6 prototypes before I felt this is it. This is exactly what I want. And it was a big learning curve.
So how many compartments?
It's got 2 big pockets in the front and then 1 in the back. They're easy to get in and out. And then the middle part, which is separate from the other pockets, is where you would put bag doggy waste because it's got that special lining inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you turn it inside out to wipe it clean.
You can actually pull the lining out. It's still attached on the sides. You can actually pull it out and wipe it if you need to.
And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
You did this when? When did you develop this?
It's been a long time in the making. I think I first started the end of 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's only 5 years.
Yeah, and then I launched it just 2 years ago because I went through so many prototypes. But I actually, made it available for sale about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
And what do you hear from people who have purchased it?
I've heard it's been amazing. They've given me incredibly good feedback. One of the ones that sticks in my mind is somebody on my Facebook page that I don't know who she was, but she said, when I first got this for Christmas, I had a really good laugh. And then and then I said, she says, and then, but this is by far, hands down, the best bag I've ever carried for my pet. So I was really surprised. I don't know who she was, but I was like, well, that's great. I'm glad that hands down, it's the best bag you're carrying for your pet.
And she took the time to write that to you.
She took the time to put it on my Facebook page.
And how many people have that
Yeah.
same opinion of it, but just don't take the time.
I know. Well, what's really neat is so far I am an e-commerce store, but I do go around to local dog shows, and I get a lot of feedback from people that have the bag. They come up to me and say, "I bought it last year and I just love it. I wouldn't do without it." But what the neat thing is going back and seeing people walking around with your bag. That was really cool.
Oh, that's fun. Do you walk up to them
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, I designed that"?
Yeah, I actually saw somebody at a fall hike that was wearing my bag, and I said, "Oh, that's my bag," and she's like, "Yeah." She says, "As a matter of fact, I'm going to buy another one. I want another one," and I thought, "Wow, that's really neat." And she actually lives in San Diego, but she was visiting.
So one more thing for you to put in your bag is a Sharpie pen so that you can autograph these as you see people walking along with them.
I know.
That is just so cool.
Yeah.
All right, how did she get one living out in San Diego?
She said she was visiting one year, and no, actually, her sister lives in this area, and she bought her one as a gift.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are your plans to make sure that other people in San Diego can purchase this? Do you have-
Doing lots of advertising, hopefully through social media, and it is going to be featured in Dogster magazine in the April issue. I've already been featured in Cleveland Dog Magazine and Modern Dog Magazine, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Generally speaking, most of the people who have bought it have been in the Northeast Ohio area, but I am starting to get orders trickling in from Florida, Vermont. The coolest thing for me to date has been 2 orders from the UK.
Oh my goodness.
So that was really, really cool to get that. I mean, I was just like over the moon. Like, how did they find me? And they're actually ordering. I'm actually exporting, American-made product. So
This is a local business that has become international.
oh
Truly.
yeah,
Ah,
I
that's
hope
got to
it
be.
keeps up.
Yeah, me too. For your
Yeah.
sake, I certainly do too.
Yeah.
So, where are all these made, and how do you keep up with the demand?
Well, I mentioned, I probably mentioned that I've gone through several suppliers.
Yes.
For various reasons, and it took me 6 months to find a U.S. supplier. It's very tough to manufacture in the U.S. It can be very expensive.
Tell
but,
me why. Why? What did you learn that you didn't know before by doing this?
I really don't know, but I suspect that it's American workers expect to be paid more for manufacturing than other countries. That's
Okay.
what my feeling is. But I really was committed to having it made here. And I just stumbled on a company actually out a Chicago suburb. And, they do a great job. I've never met them, actually. I've just mostly by email.
My goodness.
And they did a prototype for me. They sent it to me actually, and it was beautifully done. So I said, okay, I was hoping to keep it here in Ohio, but I just couldn't find anybody here. But it's still American made.
American made, and this is an actual manufacturing site. Like it's a factory.
No, it's actually a family-owned small business.
Wow.
That they make pizza delivery bags.
How interesting.
So, yeah, and I didn't know how my product was going to fit in with them, but they did a great job on it, and they're doing a great job on
What
it.
an interesting combination. I wonder how they market themselves. That we make pizza delivery and we
delivery
make
bags.
dog do bags.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that
yeah.
amazing?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
But they're both carry-alls, and it fits. It works.
Yeah.
For other people who have ideas, how do you go about doing that kind of research to find the right person to catch your vision and carry it to the next level?
You reach out for help. I worked with the SCORE office in Canton.
Good idea.
Yeah, they helped me quite a bit. I think, really doing a lot of research and being very, very persistent, I think is really important. I just did, what I did actually, you have to be resourceful. How I found this manufacturer in Chicago, in the Chicago area was I knew a sales rep for the fabric that I use. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, look, I'm looking for a supplier and you know what kind of fabric I use. Who do you know that uses this fabric already that's a manufacturer? So she gave me a list of people, and about 10 people. I went through them all. It didn't work out for 9, but did for the 10th.
The 10th. So
Yeah.
persistence.
Persistence, being resourceful, thinking of how can I get to where I need to be. And it takes a lot of, resourcefulness, creativity, and determination.
What is your day like? I mean, do you work at this all day, or it seems like it's something that you started and it kind of grew legs and it's off on its own?
I don't work at it all day right now. I'm not at that point. I do have an intern that helps me do social media and digital marketing right now.
Nice.
I still, it's still just a young business. So,
It's so cool, and I
you.
think an inspirational story. We're visiting with Lisa Bast. What is the name of your product? A dog walking accessory bag. Does it have a name?
Yeah, actually, it's named Wolfpack, WOFPACK.
Love it. The Wolf Pack. We will be back with Lisa after these words. You're listening to Our Community. Welcome to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Lisa Bast. She is the developer of the Wolf Pack, which is a dog walking accessory bag. And I think it's fair to say, so much more, right? You mentioned that you can do more than just walk your dog with this bag, that it makes everything about being a pet owner easier. Tell me why you say that.
Well, I mean, you can take it to the dog park. You can leave your purse at home, put your keys in there. You can put a little Frisbee in there. You can put a water ball in there. You can put balls in there. You can put a little stuffed toy in there. So it's great for hiking, too, for that purpose. Some people that have small pets have actually said they've taken it on a plane, put little treats in there and little toys for their small pets that oftentimes they take out of the crate and put on their lap. So there's a lot of people. And there's also people that have told me, I don't really use it for my pet. I use it for me. I take it to flea markets and things like that because, I love it so much.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So it's cute.
It's cute. It's fashionable. It comes in 5 color combinations. So I guess some people just like it for themselves. I've been at dog shows where people walk by with their wolf pack and they've got it stuffed to the max with things. And it cracks me up. I mean, it's like, wow, you put everything in there but the kitchen sink.
Yeah. Dog shows is brilliant. Do pet stores carry it? Where all can we find it, Lisa?
Right now I'm in an e-commerce store. So you can find it on my website, wolfpacktrails.com. Hopefully, I'll get it into some pet stores, pet boutiques. But
I would think.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the future? Kind of looking out maybe 5-10 years from now, what would you love to see Wolfpack achieving?
Well, definitely growing, and I certainly have other ideas for products under the Wolfpack brand. So, I'm hoping to go international too. I mean, I show that I can. This is definitely an international a need for it for anybody that has a dog anywhere that doesn't want to carry pet waste, that doesn't want to stuff their personal items in their pockets. That wants to go hands-free, at least to have a hand-free. So it really does make the on-the-go experience with your pet more enjoyable.
Well, when you hear from people from the UK saying we're using it and we love it, then certainly they've got friends and family with dogs. So I would think it would spread all on its own.
Yeah. I've even shipped to Canada, too, recently. So I've had some Canadian orders. So, yeah, it's really cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
You said you're using social media primarily right now. Where can we find you on social media?
I'm on Facebook at Wolfpack Trails. I'm also on Instagram right now at Micah Dude for Wolfpack.
Oh, cute.
So Micah kind of, Micah's adventures with Wolfpack.
We need a YouTube video starring Micah.
Yeah, yes. I do have some on YouTube right now. So I'm hoping to expand and it's great to have an intern helping out.
So I'm thinking that people who are interested in seeing what this looks like, they can find nice pictures of it on Instagram and so forth.
Yes.
Look for you there.
And Wolfpack Trails, yeah.
I want to get back to this whole idea because I'm fascinated by you. So many people get an idea, but then it stops there. I can't tell you how many times I've really been sitting with someone and they'll see a commercial and they say, I thought of that. But just that's all further it went. And then someone else picked it up and actually developed it. What would you recommend? I mean, I know you've said persistence and so forth. Let's get down to brass tacks now. Talk to me about specific things that you learned through this experience that you wish someone would have sat you down and said, Lisa, before you start this endeavor, let me just tell you, you're going to want to do this. What would you be willing to share with someone else with ideas?
I think doing your research, finding out, is there something out there on the market? How can you make it more unique? How can you make it stand out? I think that most entrepreneurs are creative people. They see the big picture. They're very determined. But I think that you have to understand it's a very, very, can be a very frustrating process. It can be very discouraging at times. And it really takes a lot of steel, and fortitude. Because, there's so many setbacks that come with it.
Knowing that you're on the other side of those hurdles, anything you're willing to share as far as what some of your greatest challenges were through this process?
Yeah, I think some of my greatest challenges were just finding a supplier, a consistent, reliable supplier that met my standards. And I think, it's really easy to, for me, my first supplier was a sweet Amish lady, but her product, the end product, did not meet my standards. And so for me to push back on that, and I had people say, "Oh, you're just too picky. It's just a doggy bag." Well, it's got my name on it. It's my business. And I think you have to be firm and stand true to your beliefs because it is your business.
Yes.
It's the dream that's been in your heart. And just kind of listen to yourself and listen to your instincts. I think that's really, really important. And stay focused.
Just from a management standpoint, how does a person who's brand new at this say to a sweet Amish lady, "I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore"? How did you navigate that?
Well, actually, she told me.
Oh, she said, "I just can't do it."
She's like,
"I
I just can't meet your standards, so I can't do this anymore."
So wisdom on her end.
Yes, and it was kind of like, whoa, what am I going to do now?
And what did you do? Suddenly, you've lost your sweet Amish lady.
Yeah, well, she referred me to another Amish person, and it was the same thing with. It wasn't. He was just more like. After the first 100 he made, he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I've lost interest."
My.
So, yeah, I mean, those were the things I didn't see coming. And then I would run out of product and not have any. So, there was a time when I said, I can't do this anymore because I can't get the product. I can't find a U.S. supplier. It's too expensive to make. And I'm just going to have to fold my tent up and go home. And I really thought that, for a while. Yeah.
And then how long did that last and what turned it around?
What turned it around was I worked with the seed clinic in Akron, and one of the attorneys there referred me to his wife had worked with a supplier in Columbus. So I contacted her, and she said, "Hey, you know what? I do a lot of sewing for the military. I can't help you out. I just can't take on, but I can help you in the short term until you find another supplier." So, she took it on, helped me out, get some of the product out there in between her military stuff until I actually and I had to dedicate the time to find somebody. And I just really just had to stick with it and move through that disappointment because there was a lot, a lot of disappointment. Every time I thought I found somebody, it didn't work out.
Oh, man. So eventually, right outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
And who was it that connected you with these people?
Was the sales rep for the True Value Fabrics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So was making it cute the first priority, or did that come second? First practical and then cute, or was it all together? How did you come up with your cute design?
It was all together. I went something that was practical yet cute, somebody that anybody'd want to carry that would be unisex.
Yes.
So man or woman would.
That was my next question. Yeah. Is this something that is flower? Is this a Vera Bradley kind of thing? Or, okay, so this is something a guy won't feel silly carrying.
Yeah, a guy. I've even had kids. I've had parents come up with like 12, 14-year-old kids, and they wanted one. And it's fascinating that kids actually like it. I get that a lot. I like kids come up and go, "I wish my mommy would buy this for me. I love this. I walk the dog all the time."
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and those are some of the surprises you don't think that, you think, "Oh, I didn't think that was my target market."
Are they all the same size, or do you have larger? I'm thinking smaller for kids, or even larger for the kids. They could put their paper out in one of the satchels, parts of it.
No, it's actually the same size. I have had a lot of requests for different colors and different sizes.
Yes.
And it's like, no, it's the same size.
Which is, let's remind everybody, what is the size again?
It's about 8.5 by 9.5 inches.
Okay. So so kids don't mind that. That's small enough for them to handle. Certainly smaller than their book bags that they carry around everywhere.
Yeah.
Amazing. We're talking to the Kate Spade of dog bags, really, right here. Lisa Baston, she developed the Woof Pack, a dog walking accessory bag. You wanted it to be unique. You researched and thought, what else is already out there where Micah and I can go on walks? What did you find that didn't just quite come up to your standards either?
Well, most of them out there were just carried the dog poo.
And that was it.
That was it. And then there was other ones that carried personal items, but not the dog poo. So I wanted something that would carry everything in one location, which made it more practical. And also that you can wear it 4 different ways. So, not just
What
one
are
way.
the 4?
Well, the 4 ways are crossbody, over shoulder, around the waist, or you can take off the strap entirely and clip it to your belt loop or your leash.
So it just makes a fanny pack as well.
Yeah.
Can be.
You can wear it as a fanny pack. So most people wear it crossbody or fanny pack style.
And did you, when you started, know that there was such a material that would be antimicrobial? Or is that something that
I didn't know about that.
Did that just make your day when you found out that there was such a stuff?
Yeah, that was just, again, a lot of research going, in my heart, I can't make this bag without something like that. Knowing that as I carried my prototype with my dog and taking that bag poop out and that smell coming up in my face, I was like, ooh, this is worse than carrying it.
Yes.
I need something that's going to take that away. It's just not, So, yeah, and I really didn't think anything like that existed out there. So
you found it does.
Found it.
You found somebody who makes it. They would sell it to you, and the rest is truly history.
Yeah.
Tell me about Walks with Micah now. What's life like now that you've got your own wolf pack?
So much easier, especially in the winter when I'm not stuffing things into my pockets. I'm going, have at least one hands free. Little things like never thinking about taking your cell phone with you when you went, but I do now, in case I ever get in trouble or I need help. So, it's just very, very efficient and easy. Take it to the doggy parks, take it on walks. All kinds of things.
How did it feel when you were the only one with one? When you were trying out the prototypes and so forth? How was that out there? Did anyone comment like, wow, where'd you get that?
Yeah. Actually, I was walking in my neighborhood with my prototype, and a guy was walking, his golden doodle, and he had the bags of poop. And he's like, hey, how's your day? And we're talking. I said, I see you carry those bags of poop. I don't carry that anymore. I showed him. He's like, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah, I love that. So, yeah, that was the first gut reaction that I had as I carried that prototype around and hadn't even been selling it yet.
Does he own one now?
I don't know. I haven't seen him since, strangely enough.
You need to get him one for sure, because he's like your first endorsement. So one of the best things is when people do them and the endorsements that they give. I know, like in our first half, you kind of told us some of those in our closing moments. Tell us what people are saying about this now.
Well, I've never had any bad feedback about it. I love it. I wouldn't do without it. I carry it all the time. So it really makes me feel good that people are finding it useful and practical. They love it. Some people have bought more than one. One lady told me, you know what? After I bought your wolf pack, I was diagnosed as being allergic to bee stings. And so now, because I'm outdoors all the time, I have that EpiPen with me, and I can put it in my wolf pack. And I have
goodness.
So that made me feel really good that she found that was useful for her EpiPen because she can't be outside without it.
So even life-saving.
Life-saving.
This has become way more than you imagined, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope it continues. The cool thing is that I'm partnering with Pet Partners. It's an organization that trains therapy dogs. And they put on the world's largest pet walk in September. So I do a Wolfpack giveaway every year for the biggest fundraiser. So I love being able to do that. And as I grow, I hope to do more of that because that's the whole purpose of being successful is, making the world a little bit better than you left it. And I love those partnerships I'm doing.
I love the way you say that. So just keeping an eye open for where there's a need and then filling it.
Right.
So cool. Remind everybody in our closing seconds, where can we get this again?
Wolfpacktrails.com. The retail price is $29.97. Sign up for my newsletter. I often send out discount coupons. And I just debuted a new design that says Dog Mom on the flap.
Oh, how cute. Lisa Bast, thanks for bringing this to our community.
Thank you.